Alright, that's gonna be a video on a water pump replacement. So you guys see I removed the head, so it's kind of easy to see around and everything, but it will give you a better idea how this thing is done. So I did buy the water pump. So that's the new water pump. It's made by Graph. So the water pump has the kit, so the water pump includes a bunch of rubber gaskets and some metal hardware, few crush washers and some plugs. Alright, well, so now to the water pump replacement. So first of all, need to disconnect the clamps holding the rubber hoses. So there's one hose on top. I have a 7mm socket to loosen up the clamp. Then we'll loosen up the bottom clamp. So remove the top one. Now my hoses come off pretty easy because I did replace them, I think it was 2 years ago. I did have new hoses installed. So what the kit does not include, it doesn't include the top, or would be the thermostat cap. So we're gonna have to keep the old one. We'll have to clean it up a bit. Let's just make sure that the pump is correct. So it fits like that. Yeah, it does look correct. So this fitting pointing this way, the bottom one's pointing up. All right, for a second I wasn't sure about that. So 10mm, we take off the three bolts on top. And we should be able to pull off that part. Yeah, this one's still okay. I did clean up all the corrosion on this part when I installed it. Okay, we're gonna need to pull the thermostat. Come on. It sits pretty good in there. See if I can. One of the very important things, what I found out, if you go to a local automotive store and you ask for thermostat, and they're like, okay, so we have a bunch of choices. We have an expensive one for 30 bucks, and we have a mid-grade, and we have a cheap one for 7 bucks. So which one do you want? And you go, oh, of course, give me the 7 bucks one. You need to ask, what is the opening temperature on the thermostat? As I found, you can get any temperatures, but what you need to buy, the opening temperature of a thermostat should be 87 degrees, and the good quality thermostat would have this temperature stamped. So if you look over here, right there, oops, sorry guys, so you need to focus. If you look over here, it says, I don't see if it's focusing, 87 degrees, and those are Celsius. So that's the thermostat that you need, 87. Alright, so now all we have left is just 4 bolts, and we need a 6mm Allen key, and I'll show you guys. So there's 2 bolts on the bottom and there's 2 bolts on top, if you see. So we take those off and we should be okay. Now the ones on top here are pretty easy to remove. So the 2 on the bottom, we might have a little problem, but we'll start with the easy ones, even though it always says, oh man, start with the ones that are harder to remove. Okay, 1, that's loose. That's loose. Okay, the one down there, we might need an extension, and 6mm. Alright, and let's see the last one. How can we get to that? So that thing is hiding behind the steering pump. And it looks like there's one more screw in the front. Actually, it might be even okay. No, there's only 4 of them. Okay. Alright, let me guys see how to get to that, and then I'll turn on the camera again. So to get to the bottom screw, you see there's one here, which is easy to get, one over here, just a straight axis, one down here, which is not a big problem, is this one. So an Allen key will fit straight. It's an M6. And now just need to put something on this end and remove the screw. Well, an Allen key won't do the trick because there's not enough room to put some kind of you put the wrench on Allen key and try to turn it, but it's flexing a lot. So an extension with the socket might just fit. You might just need to use a wobble extension. So this way you can loosen up that screw. Now just a matter of nothing to remove it. And now the pump comes out, and we can, well, I can see that I was right about my water pump leaking. You see all this stuff. This is interesting. They actually have a little pool in here for, so when that the pump is leaking, it just deposits here and I guess evaporates. So yeah, it was time for the water pump. Also, looking at the water pump, I can see that there's a drain hole over here, but also a lot of deposits, so it's probably the seal was leaking on the pump. Probably I could have just replaced the seal. Well, it's something going to be an interesting project. I'll take the pump apart and I'll buy another seal and I'll put it back together. Alright, so before installation you need to clean up this mating surface. well, I cleaned up inside, so clean everything, reinstall the O-ring, and later you're gonna have to transfer the pulley and the two temperature sensors that are here. Put the thermostat back, put the thermostat cap back, and reconnect two hoses, and that's pretty much, and you're done.